Well, let's get to our first conversation as the Nigerian Railway Corporation has lamented the revenue loss and says that this is due to the inactivity that's on the Abuja Kaduna route between March to August 2022. Managing Director of the corporation, Mr. Fidet Okhiria, made this known during a media parley with newsmen here in Lagos. He explains that about 531 million naira at the moment looks at revenue loss, and explained that lack of diesel, of course, hike in the price of diesel, also contributed to the reduction in trips done in the Lagos-Ibadan train services. Well, let's talk about this worrying development and also pressing issues around Nigeria's train service, and who's better to speak around this other than the Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. We have him in the studio, Mr. Fidet Okhiria. Thank you so much for your time. It's good to have you in the studio.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
It's been a while.
Pleasure to be here. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of activities.
It's also pleasant. Something that happened in March.
Yes.
Slow us down.
Yeah.
And seriously impacted on our
businesses and all of that. Revenue.
And our strength.
Indeed. Let me start with this way. Take us through what happened, where we are, and all of the efforts that have been made. Because I know the last time you updated us about that. So, but it's been a while now. Yeah. So tell us the developments before we go to some specifics.
No, we are trying to make something more meaningful and know when and where we are. After that, Battle at hand, we'll be working with the security service. Mm-hmm. They'll be cooperating fully and seeing how we can collaborate to ensure that we'll be able to back full swing. And the ministers set up a committee to look at the new way to go to ensure such events will not happen. And they are working seriously. There is a subcommittee to provide, and because there are modern day technology that is supposed to provide real-time solution to this insecurity problem. They are reviewing all of them and looking at it and see the one best suits our culture and the way we behave. And I think the next meeting is in a week's time, where they will present their report and we'll be able to advise the minister the best option to go. However, we are preparing a rolling stock, ensuring that we inspect the track so that at the time we are given a green light that it's safe to run the train between Abuja Kaduna. We will commence without wasting time. That's where we are. It's painful that when you run, it's just like when you are within your house, the safety element is better when it is abandoned or when not in use. That's the situation we find ourselves. But what we do now is we just run what we call a small car. We call it a rail bus.
Okay.
Where I put the police and the mobile policemen to do that morning and evening. And still we still have some unfortunate situations where people still try to vandalize the track, even up to the bridge. But it's costing us more now to provide security, unlike when we were operating. Yeah. So that is the truth. And you see, the painful thing that people or Nigerians want to benefit under this condition by going to vandalize the track or trying to. The government is doing something for us to all benefit. And that service was celebrated all over the world, not just Nigeria. And the benefit it gives to the people traveling with your peace of mind and ensuring, because the rail if you leave, it gets you to the right place at the right time. And unfortunately, this thing happened. Nobody that will not be scared. It also affected all other train services we are running. People will not talk about, but I'm happy to say that fear is subsided. Okay. Lagos patronage has started going up again to where it was before it stopped. Itape has also started going back. And the other news I want to share with Nigerians is that is a report that's saying that for instance, Lagos Ibadan to Kano project has stopped. The project has not stopped. It's only going in segments. concentrating between Kaduna and Kano, and the contractor is working seriously there, while land acquisition for the right-of-way between Ibadan, Mina, and Abuja is also ongoing, and it requires a lot of funding to do this. We all know that the funding now is a big problem in Nigeria. The government, do they have the will? Yes, they have the will and they have the courage. But unfortunately, there are scarce resources, not only in Nigeria. Those people we are looking up to get even the loan from are also having some issue. But we are spreading our hands and spreading our, we are not concentrating in Asia or Europe. We are looking for the best that can make us have this infrastructure in place once and for all. Imagine if UK is just developing its rail at this time, what would it cost them? But they have it now, everybody is using it, and nobody is talking about it. What is required is just to keep it running and maintain it. So I think the earlier we have all these things in place, the better for us.
So there's actually a plan to connect rail to almost all the states?
Yeah. The 25 years plan is there to link all the states, capital states, and those potential areas that you have that have potential for minerals, production centers, all those things that are in the plan, and that's what the government took. They took the bull by the horn and said, okay, let's go. And I think we are making progress. As I said, Kano, Kaduna construction is ongoing. Kano, Maradi, like last time we met was on the land and right-of-way acquisition. The same thing, Kano, Ibadan to Abuja. Then the reconstruction of Port Harcourt, Maiduguri is ongoing. At our last visit for inspection, the clearance of the right-of-way and the removal of the old track has passed Aba, heading towards Umuahia.
Wow.
And drainages and culverts are also being constructed. So that is the situation. The government is stressing themselves and measuring the little fund is put into use. What I want to say is that when a fund, even yourself, when you have money in your pocket and it's not tied to something, if you leave it for 1 week, you may not find that money. It's better to have it tied and know there's a target and there's a goal you are using.
Before I go to my next question, I am worried. And I'm seeing that, is it that we need reorientation or re-education or resensitization? We need to understand that we own this facility. Why do we need it for our businesses? We need it to grow our economy. We need it to move. And some of us still go ahead to, damage this infrastructure. What can be done?
I'm a realist. I think we in government still have a role to play to make sure we carry our citizenry along.
Okay.
My cousin, who left Nigeria after we graduated to Netherlands, last week he scanned an ID card in UK. He lived in Netherlands, but he has moved to UK. And said because he's 60, he was given a rail card to ride on train free of charge. You know where I'm going?
Yeah.
At 60, he has been given some exemption to attend hospital without paying.
Wow.
I think we should copy that. But the unfortunate thing is that some of those who come to consult for us, we tell everything is money, 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 money. Government is not there for money making, but to provide the basic things for people. I believe not what we start doing that, people will continue to do because they are not sure of their tomorrow. That is the basic thing. I'm not. You have to be sure. Why do I need 2 houses? Why do I need 3 houses? If there is a way, you have a child and you can get a grant, even those of us, our children, when they get admission, they say this grant is available in the university, you can apply for it, that are not even citizens of the country. The only thing that when you graduate, you have to start paying.
Paying back.
So we should all feel that we are one and the country belongs to all of us. I think, but I'm not trying to justify
because
it is a money that has been used. if the rail is constructed, it will live beyond us. Yes. Our children will use it. Those that was done not 100 years plus. I see what we are using it before the government decided to modernize it. So that should be our orientation and culture, that we will get to that level that I've just described. But if we continue to turn our hand backwards, that we put today, we remove tomorrow, that money to do all those other things that will make everybody is happy, life is made equal, will not be available, because we continue to repeat and spend money for useful things. So that's the way I can support it.
Interesting. Now we're talking about 531 million naira here in revenue loss already. You have to pay more now for security because you must double your efforts with regards to that. And it is a time where even the government is crying for funding and all of that. So what really is the next line? What more should we expect as we move on with regards to the railway sector?
So that is, first of all, we are trying to make sure that security required to enable us come back fully, quickly. And the minister is presently working on that with at all time to ensure security, because anytime we see we are still waiting for that.
Yes, I remember. And diesel is also 800 and something naira. Yes, yes, that came to my mind now. How do you manage all this?
The world economy is not, no country is isolated.
Yes.
We should learn this. If something is happening in country A, you may not even understand. It will have impact on you. So Russia-Ukraine war made this thing, and because diesel is not subsidized and it's a free trade, or what do you call it. So immediately that happened, diesel went up. People say, why won't you increase the price? If I increase the fare and you are not able to afford it, the government is trying to provide service for people, and you are pricing your customer out of, they can't patronize you because there are alternatives. I came from Abuja to this place. I would have led by 10 a.m. at trek if I don't have the money to buy for it. Moreover, you have alternative. Petrol is still being subsidized.
Yes.
People provide service. You have Uber, you have that. I would have taken Uber instead of taking train. The air, I know what they are facing right now. They are not also but government also support them by bailouts. We know that Nigerian government have provided bailout for our airlines. So the diesel issue, what we have done internally is to ensure that we provide the service and not to we find out the time that our people travel most. So we provide those services for now. And that is not how train system is operated. Train system is operated based on schedule and time. We hope we'll be able to overcome this diesel problem and come back to full swing. We are targeting 12 trains a day in Ibadan to Lagos. Wow. And you don't say because people are not there, but it could be one person, two persons. You still have to provide the service for that person. That's why the frustration will not be there.
I can't imagine. Let's talk interestingly about movement of cargoes. I'm thinking that there should be a parley between yourself, the maritime players, and all of that to straighten up this, and we start to use the trade to move cargoes, and our roads can be a little bit free.
Yeah, you see, I thought people prefer to eat on other people's sweat. Government is trying to provide this rail, and we are trying to make people move. Right now, when we go to the port, the terminal operator charge 60,000 for rehandling. Do you understand? For one container.
One container.
60,000. They call it rehandling. But when you bring your vehicle, there is no vehicle handling charge. So our rail transportation is far cheaper, but when you add that 60,000, you remember that the rail will not take you to your doorstep. So when you get it at Apapa, you get to Ibadan, a vehicle has to come and take it from Ibadan to your industry or to your warehouse. By the time you add that cost, people can make it. So there is also a committee headed by Shippers Council, tried how to convince the terminal operator that the rail handling charges there is trying to frustrate the rail out of business. And we know, do you know why? Because when we were not there, most of those terminal operators has also invested in trucking. And we don't expect them to just allow the rail and also spoil their. But we are making it to understand is even pay you to move your truck from the railhead to instead of running, imagine running a trailer from here to Sokoto. But you can keep it within the rail premises. When those trailers, the 30, 40 tons container train comes, your vehicle can take it and you'll be able to monitor it properly. So that's what we are talking to them. We are meeting and see how that one can come into play. The government went as far because this obstruction, the scanning house within the Yapapa that is on the right of way. It's okay, we cannot wait. Payment has been made for custom to remove that. And they are now saying that it's radioactive, they need to bring expert from abroad. It's over 1 year, payment has been made. In order to make things fast, we have done a diversionary track that can make into APMT to make them load.
Wow.
So we are meeting right now with APMT with our men. They have gone to Papalanto, they have gone to Kajola, they have gone to Ibadan. So we don't even mind if they want to be the people to hold those terminals as far as we move our loads and Nigerian benefit and protect the road and the people that are using the road. So we are bending backwards to ensure Nigerians make good use and benefit from what government has put in place. If you don't test something, you don't know the taste.
Yes.
We wanted to test it and see the taste and now know the economic value that is bringing forth. Not that we separate ourselves individually of how much do I have, how much I work. Even the later, I always said, a time will come when even when you train your children, because the other people are not comfortable, your children cannot come out and enjoy this training.
True.
So it's now time to realize that they should allow things. Accumulating wealth is nothing when your neighbors cannot benefit.
True. Almost finally, I want you to educate us about this Nigerian Railway developing a train track access framework to attract public-private partnership. I wanted to understand what that means and what are the positives.
We'll be trying to amend our laws.
Okay.
To allow private partnership, to allow businessmen, companies to come into the rail instead of just government doing it. And now that the government has decided to do the rail, we are saying, okay, we can have people bringing in their rolling stock, like you have a Kennedy Chuku, ABC running on the road. Then we develop a framework that is flexible, that can allow me, say, okay, I have 20 coaches, I want to be running Ibadan, this thing. And just depending on the signaling and scheduling and communication, we sit down, we program it, your train will run so time, at so time. But for using the track, you have to pay certain amount for it for maintenance and ensuring that the people and the communication and signaling are up to date to allow. That is the framework we sat down and have developed. It has passed through the board, and luckily they approve it, but just for the legal subcommittee and the commercial subcommittee, they are now working on it so that we get a document and we can now start sharing that with those who are aspiring to be our partners. So it took us time to come up with that document. People say, we want to come in, we want to come in. We know rail is not cheap.
Yeah.
But if you cannot do the track, at least you can come with some rolling stock and operate. So that's how we develop the track access framework.
Beautiful stuff. Okay, before I let you go, MD, well, Nigerians want to definitely hear from you, and they want that confidence, and you've said it on the start of the show, but what more do you want them to hear, and what should we expect? For me, I'll give that testimony. I used the train at the time before all of this, and the same Kaduna Abuja was what I used the first time, and it was a great experience. So tell us, should we believe that we can, continue to use the
Yeah,
rails?
we should continue to use it. It's safer. You see, it's unfortunate that thing happened. It's only a mad person that will just want. You don't know how many people were on that train that day? 300 or something.
Yes.
And we believe it's not going to happen again. And now we have learned something from what has happened. And we're already going higher and deeper than what other countries or rail operators are doing. I was telling my staff or the president I just came from Germany. I went to Berlin. We have what we call Trans, where every 2 years they do exhibition for train operators and conferences. And from there, I went to Netherlands, to Eindhoven, 6 hours, 30 minutes to experience it. I wanted to buy my ticket on the net. It got to some stage, it drew a red line. It was not going. I went to the station. I said, I made the ticket seller say I'm going to Eindhoven, and I want to leave before 9 o'clock. He checked the number of trains, the routes, and said, okay, this will take you 3 hours. If you take this will take you 6 hours, 20 minutes. If you take this, it will take you 14 hours. So which one do you pick? I said, I want the 6 hours, 20 minutes, and I want the VIP seat. And I want my seat to be reserved. The printer, he did not ask me for my name. He did not ask me the means of identification. He gave me the ticket. And the following morning, I went to the train station with the card. I put the gate opened. When the train arrived, it just under 1 minute, you must board or the train will go.
Wow.
So we entered. I looked for my seat. I sat down. And I changed train 3 times. The only person that came to ask for your ticket. But in Nigeria, we went as far as, if you want to buy ticket, we ask for your name, we ask for your state of origin, your grandmother, and people still complain about it. Now we are trying to introduce names so that your profile can be properly profiled and ensure that person boarding is the actual person that is boarding. So we are doing extra mile in Nigeria. So I just want people to know this. That is not boarding the train is not the same thing as boarding a flight. So that is the
message.
You buy your ticket and you go to the train station and enter, because you are carrying people in thousands, not just.
It's a great interaction as usual. Mr. Fidet Okhiria there is the managing director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with happenings. We'll keep a tab on you as usual when there are updates, and we'll have you.
Now that the sun will start shining soon, I will be out.
All right, then. The sun will start.
I just went so that we can do, make sure we do
all the needful. Thank you so much. It's good to have you. All right, then.